Yeah. Hey, check it. Okay, I feel unstoppable. Losing's impossible. Go against
on the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium, just north of downtown Tampa. Tonight, we wrap up the first 13 weeks of the season with a good Monday nighter between the New Orleans Saints and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. McManus about ready to get us started. And off we go from Tampa. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. These two teams, they met in Tampa earlier in the year with the Bucs prevailing in that one. So if they can win here in Tampa, they'd be able to claim the season sweep. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Brady going to throw. Man open, that's complete to Dalton Schultz. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. This defense for the Buccaneers, they were very strong last week in that win over Cleveland.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball? Or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright.
50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
They'll run for the first time with James Conner. And a good push there defensively as they stop him at the 48. A gain of just 1.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Brady now to throw. Sutton reeling it in on the left side. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Now a play fake, Brady. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops and escape this drive.
Brady's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll drop to throw.
Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Kyler Gordon picks it off. Past the 20. And it's a pick six. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD. So a big defensive play there on the opening drive, no less, as they make the interception and bring it back for the score.
And I think that's a signal for how this defense wants to play. They want to be disruptive, and you know they're going to take some chances.
Well, sometimes it can burn you, but right there, it paid off. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Throwing now is Brady. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Eric Stokes. And it's a pick six. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD. And Charles, it's now a 2-touchdown lead in the opening quarter. Following that pick six, they are off to a fast start in this one.
And absolutely ecstatic on the sideline after that play, aren't they? Not just because they've got the lead, but how about seeing one of their guys get a chance to take it in for 6? Already up a pair of touchdowns. They've got everything going their way early on.
And they'll accept that penalty. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
And this is caught. Touchdown. We keep waiting year after year to see signs of Tom Brady's arm strength deteriorating, but his message there, keep waiting.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, here in the stadium, you could just sense the crowd thinking, oh no! And their worst fears weren't realized as that one turned into a long touchdown.
And the final number on Next Gen Stats, how about this? 71 yards through the air. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Walker to start the drive. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Foye Oluokun finding his way to the ball for a stop. A tackle for loss.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for. One of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Back to throw here, Herbert. He completes this to Walker. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Here's Herbert. To the sideline, he's got the catch, and he kept the feet in bounds. Well done. How about 25 yards on 3rd down? They'll take it.
Time to give some credit to the big fellas, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes, because you got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time, be able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Walker now on 1st and 10. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. The Bucs add 8-3 now. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD. And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
On 2nd and very short, Herbert. He completes it to Olave. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Chris Olave, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Buccaneers have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Extra point from McManus is good. And it's now 21-7. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Taken at the goal line. And they'll be backed up a bit to start as he's out of bounds at the 16. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. Sitting in 1st place in the division. They've got an open date on the calendar coming up next week. So, Charles, you and I were talking about this before the game. This one for them kind of has some extra importance.
It certainly does, because if they can get the win here and pad their lead a bit, or at least keep pace, then they can really kick their feet up and say a job well done at this point, and not have to worry about ball at all until they're back in their facility, back in their meeting room, getting ready for the next game.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he'll earn a couple of tough yards past the 30 to the 31.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Here's Brady. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, the other day they told us Charles, when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
And here's Rodgers on the return. A pretty wild first quarter. 21-7, our score. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. From the 29, Herbert, and Walker has it. 7 yards there and a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Trying the left side with Walker. Fights through it. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Now Herbert off the bootleg. And that is incomplete.
That was an interesting look there, because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked by Logan Wilson. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. So really the first speed bump that this offense has encountered. They'd had the rule of the roost here in this first half, but now slowed up just a bit by the interception.
And there's a chance that that's a wake-up call for them, because you don't want to go on autopilot too early. That team on defense is capable of making some plays similar to the one they made right there.
And he's got this down to the 35. 56 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. To throw, it's Brady. And Brady going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by A.J. Terrell. And the Buccaneers are going to get the football back at their own 17. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go to the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Back to Walker on first down. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Tackle made there by Myles Garrett. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
Justin Herbert looking to throw on second down. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. And they got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. And even 30 yards on a play that began back at the 30.
Big plays are starting to become the trend here in this first half, and everything that they've tried has worked. And there's another example right there.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. Going right back to Fant. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
On second down, it's Walker. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down now.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense. A little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there forcing a loss on that play.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down. Here's Herbert. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And he hauls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. Jalen Waddle, 38 yards. And the Bucs take a 3-touchdown lead. McManus's point after is good. And the lead down to 3 touchdowns at 21. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Joe Reed going to return it from his end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Brady. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Jeremy Chin picks it off. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. So that changes things. You get the interception, and then to boot, a good return tacked on.
And really it was down to him versus the quarterback on the return, and that's one you would think the defender would win. But a nice job there of seeing the play all the way to the end and making the tackle by the QB.
And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a first down.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. Straight ahead, Walker. And down inside the 15 he goes. 10 yards there and a Buccaneer first down.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They run again with Walker. And he is going to lose yardage here. Play 3 of the drive not as successful. They go backwards after those 2 first down gains.
Sometimes I think these defensive tackles get a little bit of a bum rap. We just see them as big guys that eat up blockers for others to make tackles. Oftentimes they're quicker than they get credit for. And this time he uses quickness to make a play.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Now it's Herbert. He finds his man, complete. It's Walker. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Herbert on 3rd down now. And in for the Buccaneers touchdown. Kari Blossingame, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Bucs are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Extra point from McManus is good. And a rout is on here in this first half. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And that throw there going to put him over 4,000 yards passing now for the season, maybe strengthening his MVP consideration.
And you figure with still a handful of games left to play, 5,000 yards is not totally out of the realm of possibility. The way he is playing, I think he's going to get there.
To throw again on 2nd down. Brady. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. And let's see, the Bucs with 6 DBs, so a dime set here on 3rd down. On play action, it's Brady. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
7 yards on the return after a punt of 39. And they'll it'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. So we are at halftime here on a Monday night as we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando. It's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Bucs with a lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. Rodgers going to return it from his end zone. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. Well, it's hard to imagine the first half going any better for them, CD, and now here as they begin their first series of the second half. I mean, they score here. This one, it's pretty much out of reach.
We honestly might already be at that point, partner, because this team, they were dominant in the first half, continue to be dominant now, and I think they're viewing this as a put-away drive on their way to a lopsided victory.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Herbert off of play action. Pressure comes and down he goes. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him.
He only gave them an instant to react. It was a classic case of if you blink, you missed him. Off of the line and to the quarterback in just a couple of seconds. Running back only had a moment to react and attempt to throw a block.
New Orleans adding some depth to the secondary. They've got 6 DBs out there now for 3rd. Herbert now. Escaping the pressure right. Herbert has it knocked free, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. He's thankful right now for that sideline because it could have been a fumble loss, instead just a fumble, though they will have to punt it down.
You're right about that, but do you think there's ever been a player happier to see his own punter go on the field than him?
No.
I mean, not at all, right? How fortunate is he that they got a chance to punt it away, and it's not just a turnover at the spot.
It's a 45-yard punt, then 8 on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. To throw is Brady. This one swung out here to Jones. There's the stiff arm. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A very solid gain of 27.
Well, a lot of ground left to make up, obviously. A lopsided contest, and we're already in the 3rd quarter. Now, they won't get it all back in one play or one drive. That's cliche, but it's true, Charles. If they can just maybe get plays like that and get a little momentum built, they can get the scoreboard a little closer.
And can you add some blinders to the cliche, meaning keep these guys from looking at the scoreboard because that doesn't help them at all right now. Their focus needs to be on finishing every drive with points and playing mistake-free football from here on out.
Brady's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And now here's another interception. Picked off by A.J. Terrell. And it's a pick 6. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD.
Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them play it straight, do all the right things, but these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
And that flag accepted.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now Brady to try again after the pick 6. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
Defenders are always happy anytime they can sack a quarterback for a loss of 10 or more yards. There's an example there. High fives all around.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20.
86 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Again, it's Jones. Oh, what a juke into space. There he goes, right side. 20.
And he's going to be out of bounds here all the way down inside the 10.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
So that run there, yeah, I don't know if it's overstating things to call it a thing of beauty, but in terms of football plays, that's as good as you're going to see.
And that's why he's one of the best running backs in the game today, because this run combined all the elements. Started with patience, and he was just waiting for the right lane to materialize. Then once he saw it,
and he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown.
Aaron Jones with his 14th rushing touchdown on the year.
And the Saints are able to at least get one score back. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And that'll cut the lead down a bit to 28. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away.
On the return from his end zone, Rodgers.
And he's going to be out of bounds here as the run back will leave him shy of the 20-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession.
Still comfortably on top, third quarter, as they start things here with a 1st and 10. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Justin Herbert looking to pass. Trying to lay one up deep. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. From the shotgun, here's Herbert.
They're going for Lazard, but this is intercepted.
Picked off by John Johnson. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the 3rd quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Brady. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson.
And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did. And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
Now Jones. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
And now you have to wonder, partner, at what point in time do they forget the running game? It's been a struggle so far in this one. I would think they'd have to start throwing it a little bit more.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. They'll try again with Jones. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans.
Aaron Jones
with career touchdown number 70.
And the Saints are able to cut into that deficit.
He's doing his part, but still facing a sizable deficit.
And he would like to do more, but he needs help from the other 2/3, right? He needs his defense to bow up a little bit, and he also needs special teams to maybe create some big plays and help them get back in it.
1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. Certainly no reason to panic. They've got the 3-score lead, but the turnover last time, the interception that led to a touchdown, you'd have to think it might not be dialing that up again.
Yeah, probably not. They're still in fantastic shape, though, so I would imagine before he tried it out here for this series, head coach probably just leaned over to him and was like, listen, we're wearing these color shirts. Throw it to those guys, not the others. Try to make a joke out of it and just let them go out there with a little bit more confidence.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47.
They'll toss this out right to Walker.
And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
On 2nd and 9, Herbert. That is taken in by the tight end Fan. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 22-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era. We think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Up the middle, here's Walker. 74 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Good gain there on 1st down and keeps him in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively.
On 2nd down.
And the ball is knocked out, but it looks like a Buccaneer was able to corral it. Yes, the Bucs have it. Tampa Bay keeps the possession. Could have been a costly mistake, but as it turns out, they keep possession.
You can't give away these types of opportunities in the red zone. And I'm sure that was flashing through his brain as the ball escaped his hands. Fortunately for him, able to get picked up by his team, fumble recovered. They still have an opportunity deep in the red zone.
3rd and 2, Herbert. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
It hasn't been the cleanest game for him, but there was a sign of improvement as he looks towards the next one. Nice bit of scrambling to move the sticks, and even more importantly, he didn't risk adding another interception to his ledger.
Here's Walker.
And he is going to lose yardage here. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. They'll try the air now with Herbert. This is caught. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal. Well, clear running situation. Try to take time off the clock. He ran the previous play, set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they had shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit them over the top.
The Bucs on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here.
Walker.
And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal. Defense keeps him out of the end zone there. Now, will they go for it? And if so, can they do it one more time?
Yeah, I just don't know if it's worth it going for it, because what we've seen from the defense so far, every gap is taken care of. Everyone is sound in their coverage. No one is breaking free. And those ball carriers are getting tagged. If I were them, I'd think very hard about just taking 3 points and taking their dignity and moving on.
And the ball's at the 2, spotted at the 2, so a pretty good chunk to go. The kick by McManus is good. And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but They'll take the three, and they've had that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And just looking ahead, it would appear that that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one, though probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Brady. Oh, and that'll be incomplete. He took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Brady to throw. That's into the hands of Gallup over the middle. Almost, but not quite. Needed 10. He got 9. 4th down. They'll run it with Jones. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Brady now on 1st down. He finds his target. It's Schultz.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah,
now the ball comes loose, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
You can almost see inside his face mask there the look of relief. He coughed it up, but it goes out of bounds. They keep it.
someone carrying around the lucky horseshoe, aren't they? If I were him, I'd go out and play the lottery after that one. A very fortunate man.
And they're operating in plus territory here. They're thinking points. Definitely don't want to lose the football at this juncture. Play action. Now it's Brady. And he will find his man Sutton. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. That one goes for 30 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Brady gives this one off to Jones. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. Brady now to throw. Quick throw, knocked away, and incomplete. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete passer we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game. And that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them, holding them under 200 today.
And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. They wind up with 6 on the hook up there, but it's not enough. 4th and goal.
Completed pass brings up a 4th down situation. Do you play analytics on this one? Well, you know, what do your analytics tell you about going for it here? I wonder what they would say.
They tell me you're down by this margin, 4th quarter, you're going. Now Brady got to have this one. Touchdown, Saints. Aaron Jones with his 3rd touchdown and 18th on the year. And the Saints' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. He's got it. So they convert the 2. That keeps their slim hopes alive as we're back to a 2-score game. So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. Oh, the Saints recovered it. New Orleans football. Well, that certainly makes things more interesting. You get the score, then you get the onside kick. A little uphill battle still, but a start.
It's not mission accomplished, but the plan is working. They are in a great spot right now, and the best part, they put the defense right back out on the field after having already scored.
Yeah, they've got the momentum here now. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Throwing on 1st down is Brady. Able to find Jones. Only able to gain a couple there, and that will bring up 2nd down. And right now, defensively, you love that, don't you? I mean, you'll give them that play.
And they'll take it every single time. This is almost like nickeling and diming it downfield, and too much time's going to run off the clock.
From just shy of midfield, Brady. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And the Bucs are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. Well, it wasn't always pretty, but the interception there, that means that they should get out of here with a victory.
Yeah, this is not a game that they're going to preserve for posterity on defense, but they did finish it off, didn't they? They did make the winning play to close things out. They'll take that one and head to the locker room.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Got to figure the rush is going to be fierce again as they come up 2nd and 13. They're going to pass here with Herbert. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense as the clock will stop with 35 seconds left to go. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. John Johnson with the INT. And the return across midfield and to the 46-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Meanwhile, Brady's throw complete into the hands of Schultz here. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. Decent start there to the drive. Big hill to climb, needing 2 touchdowns, also a 2-2-point conversion.
So, partner, how do you eat an elephant?
I don't eat an elephant. Who eats elephant?
But if you do it one bite at a time. Okay. That's the way they've got to play this, one play at a time. Yes, there's urgency, but they have to be careful as well.
Let's go with like a 50-ounce ribeye.
Yeah.
One bite at a time.
All right, I'm with you.
That throw by Brady incomplete.
Give it big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
Brady's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it.
Jeremy Chin picks it off. And the Buccaneers will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line.
Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
The partner under the lights in primetime, this offense, they gave the nation quite a show, putting up that many points to come away with what will certainly be a memorable win for them.
And Brandon, I think it's as simple as this. Some players, some teams, they're just meant for the big stage. And when they get a chance to play in this type of atmosphere, where all eyes are on them and all the lights are shining brightly, they show up and they show out.
So for the Buccaneers,